Hello everybody, my name is Marlo. Today I'm going to show you how to build this very small modern home, and as with all my tutorials we'll start off with the exterior and make our way inside, and I'll show you how to do the interior as well. This is all of the resources we need for the outside of the build. Now all of these are to the exact number needed, but it probably wouldn't hurt to just round up a couple of them in case you maybe lose them whilst building, or you break some that you can't get back, such as the snow layers here or glass for example. So this is everything you need. Go collect these materials, maybe a little bit more on some of the blocks, and then we can get to building. First things first, we're going to come to an open area and place down 3 blocks just like this, and where you want to place these is in relation to where your door is going to be. So your front door is going to be somewhere around this block here, so keep that in mind when you're thinking about location of this build. But place those 3 blocks in and leave a gap of 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 and do another 3, and then we can bring each of those up by 5 more blocks, so 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Same again on the other side and connect them at the top, and then we can do the same over here, just bringing them up by 5 extra blocks and another one over there, and then we can connect them up in the middle here to create this rectangular shape, which is pretty much the centerpiece of the build. Next up, we want to grab our white concrete and come to the right hand side of our shape here and place down 2 blocks here and make a U shape going all the way around, so we've got something that looks like this, and then we can bring that up by 1, 2, 3 blocks on each of the corners, and then have 2 more blocks here, and then a line of 3 in the middle. We can then come round to the left hand side with our stripped spruce logs and place in 4 blocks just like this, so we're 2 in from the grey concrete and leaving a gap of 1 in between each of them, and then we can go ahead and place a spruce trapdoor on each of those. Grab your white concrete again and start by placing 2 blocks in each of these corners next to the block that has 2 trapdoors on, and then we can go ahead and bring them up by 3 more blocks for a total of 4. And then if we come around to here, we just want to place in 3 blocks on each of the sides just like this, so there's 1 layer, and then we're going to do the same on the top block up there. Next up, we want to head to the top of the build and place in some of our cyan concrete on all of the white blocks that we have placed already, just like this, and then we can go ahead and fill in those extra spaces, so 3 more on that side and then 9 more over here on this side. Hopefully you've brought the smooth quartz variant for this next part of the build. It's not the end of the world if you haven't, but we're going to place in a slab here on the top half of this white concrete block, and then another one here on the top half of this cyan concrete block, and then pretty much bring them all the way around until we reach the grey concrete on the other side. And after that, you should have something that looks a bit like this, with that sliver of cyan concrete peeking through, which I think looks really nice. But we want to grab our slabs again and basically do exactly what we've done on the other side, but round here. We're now going to add in our doorway, so come to this gap here and round to the back of the block and place it down just like that. And out the front, we can have 2 quartz stairs like so. Now it's time to add in the windows, so we're going to start off by heading inside the house and placing our full glass blocks on the ceiling here, and then all of the rest are going to be glass panes, so we'll have the 4 there on each side of our centerpiece, and then just place in the rest exactly where I'm placing them now. Don't forget the 3 at the bottom here, and then we'll have some more over on this side. The final thing to do for the exterior part of the build is come up to our roof here and place down all of our snow layers on top of the quartz slabs and cyan concrete. So that is the outside of the build all done. We can now move on to the inside. So this long list of items is everything we need for the inside of the build. I'll do a quick scan over all of the blocks in case you're uncertain what some of them are, but they are to the exact number. Hopefully I haven't forgotten anything. I'm so sorry if I have. I'll be sure to put it on screen somewhere else. But yeah, I'll quickly expand on a couple of these points. So all of the blocks you see on my hotbar here are for a little expansion we're going to make underground, so we're able to have some enchanting in our house. And of course you're going to need some armor to go on your armor stand, and some flowers or something else that can go inside of these 3 flower pots. To begin with, we want to grab our grey and white concrete and head on inside and add in 5 grey concrete blocks on this side twice over here, and then we'll do the same on the other side, just so we can connect some of the windows and the door and generally just finalize the structure. But then we're going to add in 3 extra white concrete blocks here. I do apologise for the partially connected textures with the glass here. For some reason my glass only connects depending on which direction you face in. I have no idea why. I cannot find a fix that works online anywhere, but if you have Optifine running in your world, you shouldn't have this issue. It should just be nice and clean, like this glass here and this one here. But anyway, on with the building. We want to carve out a little area here and break out these 12 blocks of grass just like this, and then we're going to go ahead and place in a spruce stair under all of the glass panes with a strip spruce logs underneath all of the strip spruce logs. Then we can add in 2 planks here and here with a stair on top of both of those, with one in the middle, down a block in the center, and then we can come on up top and add in some slabs just like this. Next up, we can grab our light grey concrete and break out a 9x9 area here, as well as these 2 blocks down the bottom, and replace all of that with the concrete itself. Now with the interior of this build, I've tried to do it in a way so that it keeps with the modern design but also being very functional for a survival home. So for example, you probably wouldn't have a furnace that looks like this in a modern house, but is a very helpful block in survival, so we're going to be kind of combining the both of those ideas to do all of this. But we're going to grab all of the blocks you can see in my hotbar here and start by placing in 2 smooth quartz stairs here and then another one here. We can have an end rod in the corner with a cyan carpet on top, crafting bench on this side, furnace on this side and on this block here, or that one, doesn't really matter. We can have a cyan banner as somewhat of a towel to wash your hands off from the sink we don't have, and over on this side we can have a nice flower pot with something of your choosing to go inside. Just for now, we're going to place in our spruce pressure plate on this block here, and we'll come back to that later so we can add in our expansion for enchanting. But head up to the top here, and very sorry, I wasn't meant to tell you to place in these 2 slabs here because we're going to have some chests instead, and then we can have a line of trapdoors on the glass block there, the top of it, and then we're going to have 2 looms, placing them like I am here on the side, so we have this texture on show, and then we can have a flower pot with another flower inside. Place down 8 of your trapdoors on the top of this block here, so it's just below the white concrete here, and we're going to place some more just like this going all the way across to make a nice platform for another level to this house. We've got 4 levels, this one, this one, this one, and then another one at the top here which we can get up to via a ladder. Up here is where our bedroom is going to be, so we can have our bed here, which will work as a respawn point because of how the trapdoors are placed, so no need to worry about that. But we can have a scaffolding block here, whoops, you need to hold shift if you're going to do it like that, with a flower pot on top as somewhat of a little table, and then we can have 2 barrels here, with a spruce trapdoor on this block folded upwards, and then we're going to need to head downwards to place in 2 more here, just as some storage if you need it. Place an item frame on this block here just above the bed, and I'm going to have a clock in mine. Just feel like that makes sense being a bedroom and all. Your alarm clock can go right above your head to ring in your ears when you need to wake up in the morning. But then we can have a painting here. Just going to flick through a couple of my custom ones until I get something that I like. I think we're going to go with that one there, that works. And then over here at the end of our bed we can have 2 end rods as a little bit of lighting. Don't want any mobs spawning in here, that would be very bad. But then we can have our armor stand and whatever armor you would like to display on it. Something I have just realized is this block here is the only spawnable space in the entire build, so I'm going to replace my grey concrete with a sea lantern instead, but any lighting source would be fine. Redstone lamp, glowstone, jack-o'-lantern, whatever you want, or just place another lighting source somewhere else a bit closer by than this end rod. But we're actually going to break this temporarily so we can do some work on the redstone, and I'd start by honestly just hollowing out a fairly large area underground just so you've got plenty of room to work with. So I have given myself a 7x7x3 high area to work with here, which should be more than enough room needed. And the first thing we can do is place down our sticky piston 1 block away from where the sea lantern would be. We're going to place that down later, otherwise it's going to get in the way because we need to now do our floor. So lined up with the center block where we're going to look down into, we can place in the blocks just like I'm doing here in this formation, as you can see. And then we're going to get rid of those 2 blocks on the floor, replace them with white concrete, and add in 2 more on the sides just like that. We can then place our anvil and grindstone in these two blocks here, very helpful for enchanting, and as well as our bookshelves going all the way around. So we only need 15 bookshelves for maximum enchantment, so if you place them in the formation here, they will be symmetrical. Not that it's really going to be obvious from up here, we won't actually be diving down into this room, only looking at it from above, so it doesn't really matter how you place all of these down, as long as you've got 15, you should be fine. We can then place our torch on the back of this block here, or just anywhere nearby, as long as it lights up this area and is hidden from the upstairs above. That's a pretty good spot for it though, and I've also plastered a few more on the walls so you guys can actually see something, and I've also had to extend our area here by an extra block at the back here. But now we're going to connect up our pressure plate with our piston. So to do this, I'm going to be using cobble to place all of our redstone on. You should always use something that's not a natural block, so no stone, diorite or dirt, or anything you could mistake for natural terrain and then dig up and ruin your redstone. So we're going to place our first redstone dust here, and then add in a line of cobblestone going all the way around and connecting up to our piston at the back here, something like that. And then we can add in some more redstone going all the way around, and then at some point around about here is fine, we can add in a block with a redstone torch on the back, and then some more redstone, and then when we connect up to the piston, you should hear it extend. For some reason, our enchanting table here isn't reaching 30 levels. I'm not exactly sure why. It was doing it in my test world, but decided not to work here, so we can just put another bookshelf in one of the corners. And now, as you can see, we're up to 30 levels, so we're all good. So yeah, enchanting table in the center, and then our sea lantern can go on this block here, attached to the piston, and now we can access our enchanting table for level 30, as well as the grindstone and the anvil. And just like that, our multi-leveled, super cozy, modern home is all done, and I gotta be honest with you guys, I really like how this one turned out. You guys know how much I loved my cramped and cozy builds, and this one right here is the epitome of that. But anyway guys, that is going to be it for this video. I really hope you guys enjoyed the build. Let me know if you're adding this to any of your worlds, of course. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.